And I think most of you know that greeting. So to explain it, I would think I would be not giving you the accolades that you've worked so hard to understand. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rukiye Abdul Mutakallim, and I am the mother of Suleiman Ahmed Abdul Mutakallim, who sat upon in your community in 2015. Matter of fact, June 29, 2015 was his death, but he was sat upon on June 28th, Sunday night, between 9:30 and 10 o'clock, from what they had given me the information from the detectives. Now, I do not have a lot of time with you because this was a last minute to ask me to come to the panel because Mr. Woods did not really know me, but he had heard about me from some wonderful people, one in particular, Karen, in fact, who is also my spiritual sister. We hit it off the first time we met. And we met in City Hall, protesting. And some of you saw me yesterday out cheerleading our protest. So the Archbishop McNichols High School in Anderson has asked me to come and speak to their students there. And they'll be expecting me at 1 o'clock. So I have only a few minutes with you. So I will just tell you my story just briefly. My son was a Navy, my son is a Navy person. He was 39 years old. His life was written at that time to end, just as his life was written at the time that he was born. He was born December 15th, on a Tuesday, 1975. He brought light into our lives, and his death also had light. He moved into the area called, what's it called? South Cummingsville. Very trying and very desperate area where the people feel even when the sun shines, there's no hope. They have a lot of despair. And as a mother, you always want to protect your children no matter how old they are, but you do have to let them grow. And though I sensed something, and my story, my written story, which I will give to Mr. Woods, we spoke on it, my son and I. But he looked at me with those eyes, those kind eyes, and he said, Umi, which means mother. How can I help people who feel there is no hope unless I'm among them? How better to show them? And no, I did not want him to be there, but I supported what I taught him in the Islamic manner, that when you are given a favor, you owe a favor. And that favor is to the Creator, because none of us got to choose where we were born. Our families and your families didn't get to choose you. And just because people are in another area is less favored in that they're challenged for their living, for their education, for their just the innate laws that we should all have, they're being challenged with it. That doesn't make them any less than you, and it certainly doesn't make you any better. If anything, you owe the favor to reach back and help them, to show them. As you have one in your saying, teach a man to fish, he'll feed himself for the rest of his life and carry that on to his families. But we believe in that. Islam believes in that. Not only helping them, but showing them how to help themselves. So he chose to live there. 2 years later, I'm lamenting over my sons. Over his legacy. Because he brought light there. There was not one person in that community, not one. And the police officers told me I didn't tell them. They had no bad saying about him at all. If anything, he would always tell them, don't use that language. He didn't smoke, he didn't drink, he didn't, no. Not even a cigarette, no. But was he perfect? No, he's a human being. However, he knew that his life should not be that which causes depression and despair. He knew that children are born with light in their eyes and hope in their hearts, and the only way they lose that, because you didn't put it in there, is that we, the adults, we're taking it out of them. We're not showing our children how to reach for the galaxy so they can catch a star. And that's wrong. And this is what is happening. Our communities are filled with a disease. It is an infection. And we have been antidoting it for the last 30 to 40 years. I did my research here in this community. And it's been the last 30 or 40 years, antidotes we've been doing. We have to stop. So I gotta go. And I'm giving you a little bit of this. But yes, gun violence has to cease. But remember this. It doesn't matter the laws that we do. It doesn't matter. You can remove all the guns. They'll pick up knives. They'll pick up baseball bats. They'll throw people in front of cars, off bridges, because they're hurting. We have trauma in our community. We need trauma services. That will end this violence that is happening to our children and to us. The children are only acting out. I'm working with Jack soon on a particular project to change the hearts of the people. Because my son's life was a purpose, and his death was a purpose. Oh, good. And I believe that about all children. They don't come out lying, stealing, cheating, do they? Are they not happy? Even when they're crying, they're only crying to tell you something's wrong, please help me. Because they don't have the voice yet to speak. So how is it that we have lost this understanding about our children? And now, if you think about when trauma started, it wasn't where they picked up the gun. That's the ending, or the knife, or choking someone to death, because they are doing that too. They're just not reporting it to you. Babies are being thrown out of windows. Did you know that? Yeah, in this community. Did you know that? We just had a 2-year-old in August, shot, boom. What's wrong with us? By an adult, not an accident. Yeah, that is this disease. And my heart, the reason why I had to step forward, one, my faith forbids this. You can see the video. Jack knows it. This wonderful man, whom I might marry one day if he holds his mouth right. No, he's my brother. I always pick on him. I always pick on him. By the way, he's got to follow me. It is that we have an obligation to bring this light and keep it in the children's hearts. And I cannot bear another thought that another mother or a father cried the tears I cried. And I still cry. But if I do not see what's underneath, then I'm only contributing to the trauma, because I'm not doing any good just sitting here crying about it. It is our obligation. It is what we as the adults are left to do. We're left for that generation that is the future of mankind to hold on to that light that the Creator gave them and that hope they came out with, that you, the adult, are going to show them how to reach for the universe. so they can catch a star. That is their right. We owe that. And on that, I really do have to go because I'm going to be late, and those 16